2 a.m. You're lying in bed, completely relaxed, almost asleep. And out of nowhere, your brain plays it. That thing you said in 9th grade. That comment in a meeting 3 years ago. Your face gets hot. Your stomach actually twists. You physically flinch. Alone? In the dark? Over something that happened a decade ago and that literally nobody else on Earth remembers. Here's the question that should bother you. You can't remember what you had for dinner 4 nights ago, but you remember the exact tone of your voice during that one cringeworthy moment in perfect detail. Why does your brain protect that memory like it's precious, when it's actually the thing you'd most like to delete?
The answer isn't a malfunction, it's a feature. And understanding it is the only way to actually make it stop running your 2 a.m. thoughts. Let's start with the mechanism, because it's more physical than people expect. Embarrassment isn't just an emotion. Brain imaging research shows that social rejection and humiliation activate the insula, the exact same brain region that processes actual physical pain. This is why an old memory can still make your stomach twist years later. Your brain isn't exaggerating, it's replaying the event with enough fidelity that your body reacts as if it's happening again, right now, in your bed at 2 a.m., right now, in your bed at 2 a.m.
So why would evolution build a system this cruel? For most of human history, survival depended entirely on group belonging. Being cast out wasn't an inconvenience, it was often a death sentence. So your brain evolved a very specific priority system. Negative social information gets encoded far more strongly than positive information. Researchers call this negativity bias, and it's been demonstrated over and over. In studies where people viewed images of social situations, negative moments were remembered significantly better than positive ones across every age group tested. Here's the logic underneath it, and it's brutally simple. Forgetting a compliment cost you nothing. Forgetting the social mistake that almost got you excluded from your group could have gotten you killed. Your brain isn't torturing you for fun. It's running an ancient insurance policy against a threat that used to be lethal.
But there's a second mechanism stacked on top of this, and it's the one that makes the memory feel so disproportionately huge. It's called the spotlight effect, the deeply held belief that people noticed and remember your mistake far more than they actually did. Researchers have demonstrated this again and again. In reality, most people are too absorbed in their own lives, their own anxieties, their own embarrassing memories to hold on to yours for more than a few minutes. But in the moment it happened, your attention turned completely inward. You were monitoring your own face, your own voice, your own every micro reaction. That intense self-focus is exactly what makes memory encoding stronger. So the moment gets recorded with a level of detail and intensity that doesn't match how anyone else actually experienced it.
Now here's the part that explains why this feels so personal, so identity level, instead of just mildly annoying. A 2025 review published in Dialogues in Clinical Neuroscience found that this replay pattern comes from a breakdown in coordination between several psychological systems involved in self-regulation. In plain terms, the memory doesn't just sit there as information, it becomes fused to your sense of who you are. Remembering the moment doesn't feel like recalling an unfortunate event, it feels like confronting hard evidence of your own inadequacy. This is because embarrassment isn't a simple emotion like fear or surprise. It's specifically a social emotion. It exists entirely in relation to other people, to belonging, to status. So when your brain drags that memory back up, it's not just showing you a clip, it's asking a much older, much more anxious question. Are you still safe in the group? Here's the twist that changes how you should actually think about all of this. This entire system isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. The problem is that it was built for an environment where social exclusion could genuinely kill you, and it hasn't been updated for a world where the person who barely noticed your awkward comment 3 years ago has completely forgotten it, moved on, and is almost certainly lying awake right now, replaying an embarrassing moment of their own. Your nervous system is running search and alert software for a threat level that mostly doesn't exist anymore. It's not malfunctioning. It's just old. So what actually helps according to the research? The goal isn't to suppress the memory or pretend it didn't happen. Researchers are specific about this. Repeatedly interrupting the rumination spiral before it snowballs is what actually works, not denial. The first useful move is simply naming what's happening in the moment. This is my brain running an old threat detection habit, rather than treating the memory as fresh evidence you need to investigate all over again. The second is mindfulness, and there's real data behind this one. Studies have found a clear relationship. People with high mindfulness show lower rumination and lower anxiety when an embarrassing memory resurfaces. People with low mindfulness don't get that same benefit.
In practice, this means noticing the memory and responding with something closer to, "That was uncomfortable, and it's over," instead of launching a full forensic replay of everything you did wrong. And the third, according to clinical psychologist Guy Winch, is recognizing rumination itself as the actual problem, not the original event. The moment passed in seconds, years ago. What's actually hurting you now isn't the memory. It's the replay loop your mind keeps running voluntarily.
There's one more detail worth sitting with, because it might be the most useful reframe in this entire video. People who can laugh at their own mistakes, who can say them out loud instead of hiding them, tend to recover from embarrassment faster. Humor engages the prefrontal cortex in a way that helps regulate the amygdala's alarm response, turning the memory from catastrophic into harmless a little faster each time. And there's a strange social bonus hiding in this too. Research shows that people who openly admit embarrassment are perceived as more genuine, more trustworthy, more likable, not less. The vulnerability that feels so dangerous in the moment is often exactly what makes you more relatable to everyone else.
So the next time it's 2 a.m. and that old memory surfaces uninvited, here's what's actually happening. Your brain isn't punishing you. It's running a survival program built for a world where social mistakes could end you, applying it to a mistake that ended nothing at all. The system worked, it just never learned when to stop. You don't have to win an argument with that memory. You just have to notice the alarm, recognize it for what it actually is, and let it pass without following it all the way down.
If this explains something that's been keeping you up at 2 a.m., hit like and subscribe. Every week we dig into the psychology behind the things your mind does without asking your permission. And I want to know, what's the memory that still gets you, even now? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. See you in the next one.